Goeiedag en baie welkom by die eerste episode van Gameplan. En ons is hier by die Milie FM Potgooi Atelier. Saam met my is Bert en Reinhard en my naam Johan de Tooi natuurlik. En ons gaan so 'n bietjie rugby gesels. Boys, vertel ons 'n bietjie, waar het julle begin?
Oh, well, I'm from Bloemfontein myself. Came from East London, 96. I was at, okay, can I say it softly? No, just kidding. I was at Grey College. Then from there, went to university and then ended up at the Cheetahs, yeah.
Ja, lekker. So oorspronklik, ek gaan nou nie Engels praat nie. So prokureer my moet hoor Engels praat, dan sluit hulle my dalk toe. Ja, ek kom al uit Kempton Park se wêreld uit. Bietjie daar begin rugby speel en so aan ook en toe bietjie na skool gejol, besering opgedoen, bietjie in die coaching ingegaan en ja, so rugby is maar mense passie in se lewe.
But I think that's kind of the story of all of us standing here. All picked up injuries very early in our careers. And then, yeah, like I say, the passion was the next step. Next logical step would have been to go into coaching.
Ja, ek was nou nie op 'n groot rugby skool nie, boys. Ek was op Jave. As jy Jave se ondersteuner soek by Eerspan Game, soos hy Finding Bigfoot, het julle dit al gekyk. Jy hoor baie beweging, maar jy sien niks nie. So, en daarna as ek CUT toe en baie lank platland gespeel, boys, maar dis lekker rugby. Dis lekker rugby.
Yeah, but I've been saying is, as we were talking about earlier, saying is when we were sitting and watching the President's Day Day, Platteland rugby at its best. And I mean, all three of us were there and we were watching it and it was very eye-opening of what is actually out there.
Ja, I think there's a lot of unseen talent. Jy weet, as ek dit so kan stel. Baie talent wat deur die krake val en dit is maar die ongelukkigheid van waar ons sit in Suid-Afrikaanse rugby is daar so oorvloed van talent. Ek seker nie ongelukkigheid nie, maar jy weet ons is bevoorreg om te kan hê wat ons het op hierdie stadium as jy nou kyk na die Bokke byvoorbeeld, daai ouens sit met omtrent 12 slotte wat hulle van kan kies. So ja, ek dink daar was baie talent op die dag gewees wat 'n mens kon sien en so aan. So ja, dit was 'n lekker dag om by te woon, ek dink.
But the one thing that I did notice is you can see, for example, if you take Grey College, their coaching setup, and you take smaller schools like say Postmansberg or Lichtenburg, where you can see they don't have the same size of coaching staff. It's more like a teacher that has played rugby and then takes over the first team and does a great job. And you can see the player development difference, or for me it was evident. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Nee, verseker, dit is Grey College met hulle 34 coaching staff by die 4de span van Grey. Dan begin nou sien wat se skole vat dinge ernstig op. Jy weet hulle het 'n groter coaching staff as die meeste klein skooltjies spelers het. Maar
ek sal dit ewen verder vat, ek val nie in die rede, maar ek sal dit ewen verder vat. Ek dink as jy nou spesifiek kyk na byvoorbeeld die Grey College, ek dink hulle coaching staff is groter as van die unies.
Presies.
As jy vat, daar's kleiner unies wat met net 'n hoofcoach en 'n forwards en 'n backline coach het.
Ja.
That's it. So ek dink mense kan dit nog verder vat as om te sê hoeveel spelers hulle het. So
But when it comes to watching natural talent, that's what impressed me there.
yeah.
Was guys that haven't had all the opportunities of to be in a high performance program, but still showing raw talent and diamonds in the rough.
Kom ons praat 'n bietjie oor ons coaching. Ja, ons al al drie in klapvlak wat ons op hierdie stadium betrokke is met coaching. Jy by baie hoop high performance center waar jy betrokke is. Waar het jou coaching begin?
Well, mine started a few years ago, about 12 years ago. Picked up same thing, picked up injury, took a few years off deciding what I really want to do, and then started at Collegians as 13. Same as most coaches, and it's also a strong thing that I believe that you have to start at the bottom. It always goes that saying, you don't know what you don't know. And your best way to learn that, you start at the bottom, and as you grow, like say from there to a second team, and then from there to a first team team. But it's a long way that you walk, sorry. You know, from where you start, and you know, it takes 6, 7, 8 years. It's not just a natural thing that you get. Okay, well, obviously you get a guy like Rassie who's a freak, but normally it's quite a long process of learning and putting effort and time into it, and also getting to know your players.
Baie waar.
Yeah,
Waar jy
I
begin?
think, sorry, just
Yeah,
to add on
yeah,
that,
sorry.
but I think to sum it all up, what you're trying to say, if I understand you have to pay your school fees.
Yes.
I mean, you can't just expect to walk in, you're a grade 1 pupil and you're going to go to matric. I mean, so you have to pay your school fees and earn your right to actually get there and coach there. So Ja, daai vraag, snaaks genoeg, ek het in my graad 11 jaar het ek begin coach. Ek was daar by 'n laerskool in Kempton Park, laerskool van Riebeeck Park. Het ek hulle onder, ek dink dit was hulle onder 11B cricketspannetjie afgerig. En die hoof het vir my gesê na daai seisoen, ons het toe na die finaal gewen en al daai tipe goedjies. Toe sê die hoof vir my ek moet in my volgende jaar moet ek sommer al klaar as studenteonderwyser daar kom. Sê ek vir meneer, hoor, ek is nou eers graad 11, ek is volgende jaar matriek. En ja, toe het ek nou maar so 'n bietjie in my matriekjaar het ek maar meer gefokus op, ek wil dit nie hardop sê nie, maar op studies. Ek dink as my ma dit luister, gaan sy vir my sê ek is oop blakkant. Maar dit is wat 'n mens moet sê, so ek het maar gefokus op my studies en op myself en so aan. En ja, na skool het ek maar nog steeds bietjie gespeel en so aan ook besering opgedoen en terwyl ek gespeel het ook het ek maar begin met hoërskole. So ek het in 2012 by Kempton Hoër begin, by hulle 3de, 4de spanne. En so maar myself opgewerk daar en eventually 2014, 2015 toe ek my eerste A-span gekry en goed ook en ja, kyk glad nie terug nie. Ek geniet dit nog elke dag van my lewe om 'n verskil te kan maak in 'n speler se lewe. Dink ek is hoekom ons coaches is. Ek dink dit is die groot ding. So ja. En jy?
My storie. So ek het lank vir die Wesdorp, as ek sê platland, was die lekkerste rugby wat my lewe gespeel het. Die Wesdorp gejol en ek besluit, luister ek kom maak my laaste run hier in die stad. My laaste kans en ek kon speel vir Collegians. Tweede opwarmingsgame kry ek my besering en daar is dit ook rugby is verby. So jy weet my man is maar hartseer, so jy weet as jy nou besef dis nou klaar. Dis nou verby. En een van die ouens wat saam met gespeel het by die Wesdorp, mag ek my die naam noem? Ja. Ou by name van Polly. Bel my, sê vir my luister jy, hy's in die dorp. Hy moet gou saam met hulle dop gaan drink. Sê nee, dis reg, kom ons gaan. En daar was 'n plek in die dorp waar by die skougrond 'n groot plek gewees. En ek loop die klomp maar daar raak van die Wesdorp. En hulle sê vir my, luister hierso, die Wesdorp klub is klaar. Hulle stoel, skuif nou maar Redensburg toe. Sê ja, maar ek kan nie weer Johnny boys. Toe sê hulle nee, ek moet net kom kyk, want ek is nie lus om te coach nie. Ek sê nog hulle, wat weet ek van coaching af? En so het hulle my omgekoop met 'n paar limonades en ek het die Dinsdag aand gaan kyk en so met die Dinsdag aand toe deel Polly hulle mee, ek is nou hulle nuwe afrigter. En dis 20 jaar terug en hier staan ek nog steeds as 'n coach.
But how many times has that happened?
Ja.
Where, like you're saying, is you go for a few lemonades.
Ja.
And somebody's just like, yeah, no, we need a coach. And you think it's a brilliant idea at that second. And then like the next day, when you like wake up, you like, and you go through your text messages. And you're like, yeah, no, welcome to the club. And you're like, but how am I going to do this?
Jy's op al 34 WhatsApp groepies van die klub. Die pin location is klaar vir jou gestuur. Hulle sê vir jou wanneer die oefening is en jy het nie idee waar dit gaan nie.
And the other thing is that I found out about or struggled with as well was especially when you played at a higher level to kind of bring it down to coach the players that you have. A lot of times you get coaches that played Super Rugby and played really high up, and then they get to a school level or school coach level, and they give all the names and they talk about all these things, your running lines and this and that, and these poor kids like look at you with these eyes like that.
Ja, overcoach, jy ouens verstaan nie wat jy sê nie en dit is 'n belangrike deel, ek dink jy weet, dumb it down.
Yeah, and the thing about, remember, nobody's going to put their hand up and say, Coach, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Ja, because he thinks he's the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
Wel, meeste van die tyd as die ouens wat weer gecoach het gepraat het, ek nie idee gehad wat hulle sê nie, so.
Ja, maar dis nie omdat hulle geweet het wat hulle doen nie.
Ek het dit nie altyd verstaan nie.
You watched a bit of Super Rugby and you heard a word or two there and you throw it in.
Exactly.
Breakdown efficientness, daar's sy. Dit is 'n woord en ons doen die hele dag breakdown efficientness.
Eier. Ek het vir 3 jaar lank gecoach voor ek geweet het wat is 'n eier.
Wil verstaan hy?
Ja, ek dog 'n vlagman, dis assistant referee.
Ja.
Almal praat van eiers. Ek soek die eiers. Ek dog is ouens wat besig is om skelm te verfilm met mikrofoon nou en goed. Ek ken dit as vlagman, hoe weet van dis 'n eier?
Okay, let's start the next one. At school traditions. What were, when you guys played, the big traditions that you guys can remember?
So, ek onthou ek het baie min hare gehad die eerste keer toe gaan speel het.
Ja,
ek
ek dink daai is maar meeste skole se ding is jy skeer jou hare af.
Yes.
Ek weet by ons het ons ten minste jou
wenkbroue
het jy ook verloor. Ja, en dan het ons maar 'n liedjie wat ons gesing het wat jy moet nou maar leer en obviously jou capping system, so byvoorbeeld nou dit het nou seker al verander, maar jy weet daai tyd was dit jy moes 5 caps gespeel het, maar jou toer tel nie en jy speel 5 caps, jy speel 5 games of weet caps op jou toer, maar dit tel nie. Dit moet legal games wees, dit moet geaffilieerde games wees en so aan ook. So voordat jy dan nou jou cap kry en dan is dit nou dan sê jy eers welkom in die span. So totdat jy jou cap het, so jy kan maar sê vir 3 maande het jy nie hare nie. So jy kry eers jou hare terug as jy gekap is. So as jy bevoorreg was om graad 11 al gedoen, daai 5 caps of wat ook al te gekry het en so aan of jy nou matriek of graad 11 is, dit is nou maar die tradisie. Jy weet jy moes maar inkoop. So ja, dit was definitief een en dan obviously die We Are One. Dit was Kempton se liedjie gewees daai tyd ook. Ja, ek meen Teddytjie, weet ek dink dit is maar redelik die go-to. Ek weet nie wat het jy bietjie ouer as ons. So
Ek het so die groot ding is jy het maar baie lank sonder hare geloop tot jy nou welkom is in die eerste span. Maar my groot goed wat ek onthou was by klapvlak geweest. Baie keer deurgehardloop deur 'n topbereid. Die hele manne weet versekerlik wat dit is. Gaan ek nou verduidelik nie. En dan jy ook maar jou paar limonadetjies moet drink en een ding wat ek mis en ek tel dit op deesdae in klap rugby en skool rugby, jy het nie meer 'n senior junior struktuur nie. Toe ek 'n junior was, maak nie saak of die ou wat langer as ek speel jonger as ek is nie, ek is 'n junior.
Ja.
En dis een ding wat vir my nogal redelik ontbreek want dit vat baie weg van die respek van die span.
yes.
Yeah, no, well, obviously on the field, you're a team.
Ja.
But the second that you were off the field, you knew where your place was. Nobody had to really tell you. You knew bumping bags had to be put out, had to be put away. When you're on tour, jerseys have to be, jersey bags have to be carried. Everything, balls have to come with. You didn't really have somebody to say, listen, but you've got to do that. You kind of just knew that was your job.
Ja, ek weet meeste van die unies en so aan ook vandag het 'n randsheet wat hulle uitstuur en daarop sit hulle water is X, Y en Z verantwoordelik vir en die en daai ene. So ek stem saam, ek dink definitief daai breek tussen senior en junior soos wat jy gesê het. Ek meen jy kan 10 jaar ouer as ek wees, maar as jou eerste jaar jy's 'n junior. En daai tradisie en daai trots, ek meen dis iets waar rugby gaan. Ek dink as jy tradisie en trots wegvat uit rugby uit, gaan rugby doodloop. Ek dink dit is so ek stem 100% saam. Ek dink daai is definitief iets en ek sien dit ook nou by die klubstelsel waar ek betrokke is ook. Daar is nie regtig 'n junior en 'n senior breek nie, as ek dit so kan stel. Ek meen die naweek wat ons gespeel het een van ons senior spelers het omtrent al die opslaanwerk gedoen. Dit is 'n junior se werk.
Presies.
So ons is ook as coaches dink ek ook bietjie skuldig daaraan. Want ons is ook so gejaag om deur alles te kom en te probeer om alles reg te kry en so aan dat jy fokus nie op dit nie. So maar ja.
Yeah, there. I wasn't as lucky as you guys to lose the hair and stuff like that.
No, but you never had any hair, so.
Ouch. When we were at obviously at Grey, it was more once you got your first cap, obviously got lifted and you got the half five on your ass. If I put it that way. And then you were part. It was more about going on, get your job done, get the win, move on to the next one. But the same thing as he's saying is about whether for me, I got my first cap when I was standard 8. And then the next year, I had matric guys that when I was standard 9, I was hitting matric guys. Just because, like you're saying, it doesn't matter whether you're younger or older. It's if you've done it, then you are a senior. Another thing that I've noticed, the question that I've got is, how long do you stay a junior for? Because some of the teams that I've played, you are a junior until new juniors come in. So, for example, you might be, for 2 years long, you might be seen as a junior because nobody else is coming to the system or coming to the team. But the second that they come in, then you move to a senior.
Rank.
I mean, you might have 10 or 15 caps, but still be a junior. Until, like I say, until somebody's come in that is lower than you in the pecking order.
Yeah.
And then they become a junior and then you sit in the back of the bus. And,
your bag get carried. You don't have to carry anymore.
Everybody's got their assigned seat sort of thing. And it's like, it used to always be the younger guys in the front. And as you got more and more senior within the team, you moved more and more and more back.
Maar die snaakse ding is, hoe meer jy agtertoe beweeg het, hoe ouer jy geword het terwyl jy gejol het. Hoe ouer het jy geword? By die stadium het jy actually agter in die bus kom as jou rug so seer nie. Jy wil vorentoe stap. Die dinamika van rugby.
Nee, dit is wat dit so amazing maak. Ek dink jy weet die feit dat daar soveel verskillende tradisies en verskillende mense is in die rugby. Ek meen as jy vat jy het 'n span van 23 wat speel die naweek en van 1 tot 23 is almal verskillende mense. So how long do you stay a junior to get back to that? So waar ek nou heidaglik betrokke is, het ons het 'n oriëntasie 2 weke wat jy doen en dan kry jy nou jou eerste hempie wat jou die brand se naam op is en daai tipe goedjies ook. So hulle is basically vir 2 weke die skam of die skim van die aarde, as ek dit so kan stel, en dan raak jy eers 'n junior en dan is jy vir 'n jaar lank 'n junior. So of nou iemand niets inkom of nie, jy bly 'n junior. So jy weet jou minimum tydperk is dan 'n jaar wat jy 'n junior kan wees. En dan as jy nou terugkom, soos veral by die plek waar ek nou is, jy weet ons seniors, ons het daai skeiding probeer doen. So ons seniors het 'n lounge in die losie waar hulle kan sit. Ons eerstejaars moet almal met 'n das byvoorbeeld in die morning meeting sit en jy weet hulle moet hulle ou skool trei, hulle moet daai hele 2 weke met daai rugby trei oefen. Hoe hulle hom was is hulle issue, as hulle hom nie was nie is hulle issue, maar jy weet dis deel van die tradisies en so aan wat ons maar ook probeer in die laities instil, want ek meen op die einde van die dag as jy in 'n nuwe maatskappy instap ook, jy weet kom ons gaan nou weg van rugby af, maar as jy in 'n nuwe maatskappy instap, jy moet daai hoe kan ek sê, daai pecking order kan verstaan en jy moet kan inkoop en ek dink dit is wat rugby so goed doen is ons kan actually weet ons as coaches, ek praat nou van ons en jy weet ons as mense en ondersteuners en so aan ook kan dit op spelers instil en dis die great ding van rugby voel ek persoonlik en dit is ook maar hoekom ek weet ek het 'n coach gehad wat my bietjie geondersteun het en nou die dag toe loop ek om raak toe sy 10 minute laat vir sy SuperSport interview. Jy weet daai tipe goeders, dis die tipe jy weet die tipe impak wat hy op my lewe gehad het. So ja, ek dink dit is maar net om daai te antwoord van die junior, hoe lank bly jy junior?
Ja, jy praat oor van tradisies. Birds het jy 'n tradisie gehad as persoon voor jy op die veld gegaan het?
Ooh. Yeah, what like one of those where you tie your shoelace, left shoelace for your right?
Ja.
Yes, let me think back. I definitely had, I remember my matric year, I played with Speedos.
Okay.
So that would be my matric year was I played with a blue Speedo every game.
Jy enige?
Ja, ek het myne was rof as daar ooit kinders of rugby spelers is wat dit moet dit nooit doen nie. So ek kan nie slaap nie. Nou as 'n afrigter ook. Die aand voor die tyd, jy kan my 2 uur bel ek wakker. Ek kan nie slaap nie. So ek het in hierdie slegte gewoonte ingekom. Ek sal PlayStation of Xbox speel tot sê 4 uur die oggend. Dan sal ek gaan slaap vir tot omtrent 'n uur voor die game. Dan sal ek opstaan, klaarmaak, talk, gaan speel. Selfe onderbroek elke game gehad. Selfe weet eers die linkerskoen aangesit met die regter veter vasgemaak. Ek het letterlik elke liewe weet wat is die regte woord? Dis nie tradisie nie, dis bygeloof. Elke liewe bygeloof wat daar kon wees in 'n rugby speler se loop het ek gehad op een ding.
Ja.
So ek was maar baie erg geweest. Ek onthou my eerste weet ordentlike game kan ek nou maar so stel, het die afrigter vir my gesê hierdie gaan nie vir my fly nie. Jy 10 uur in die bed, 10 uur ligte uit, jy slaap, dis wanneer jy slaap. En ek het vir hom gesê maar coach, ek gaan dan ek gaan my nie op die veld kry nie want ek gaan shocking speel. En dit het toe gebeur dat ek verskriklik swak gespeel het my eerste weet ordentlike game as ek dit nou so kan naskool game, kom ons stel dit so. En ja, toe sê hy vir my ek kan nie glo jy's hier nie. Jy's regtig swakker as swakheid. Die see kon my nie skoon was nie. Toe sê ek vir my coach, ek het vir jou gesê, dis my tradisie, dis hoe ek dit doen en van daar af het hy my maar toegelaat om dit te doen en ja, soos ek sê, elke liewe moontlike een wat 'n rugby speler kan hê, dink ek het ek gehad. So.
Ja, ek dink die ouens in die kleedkamer het nie myne gelike nie. Ek het soos op 'n winning streak gaan nooit my kouse gewas nie.
Oh, yeah, I know a few of those players. Yeah, I know a few of those.
Van ouens gewees.
Yeah, I know a few of those guys as well.
Maar
I
daarom
played with some guys that wouldn't shower after a game. You remember when we used to play at university and so on, we used to wear mois. It's not like club rugby today where you go out in your tracksuit and stuff.
Step out.
Yeah, we used to arrive in our mois, your blazer, your tie, your everything, and then your warm-up kit, play the game afterwards, shower, and then put your mois back on again. And then after that, then there would be, and that's something as well which I miss a lot. That I spent 2 years playing in the UK. And I played for a club there, and the tradition of having a meal with your opponents after the game was something that was extremely standard there. It was expected. It's if you went to go, whether you went to go play or you received, is you would finish the game, and then you might have 1 or 2 beers downstairs, or that's as it's so called, a few teas, and then you would. And then you'd go upstairs, and then you would sit there with your tie and shirt. We didn't have jackets, and then we would have a meal with our opponents and talk about the game. And then obviously the finals meetings would be done and stuff. And in South Africa, you don't really get the whole meal thing here.
Can I tell you why I think it doesn't happen? Because if I play against you and you hit me in the ruck, I'm going to get you up there.
It's true, but also, I mean, it's I mean, how we used to sit was one of them, one of us.
Yeah.
And the whole idea, the game was, the game, and that's the one thing which I always enjoyed about rugby. The game gets left on the field. Once you get
Except
rid
if you get a winning streak.
then your socks stand up and stare at you when you
Altyd lekker kom aantrek so 'n gumboot.
they walk next to you.
You leave it there and it's just daar by jou bed, daar staan hy.
And but I mean, I made some of the best friends that way. And yes, put us between the four lines, we would gun each other, and we would play as hard as what we possibly could. But the second we went off the field, then we were back to friends. I mean, especially with us, that the schools that we were in. I mean, like for example, when you used to get a grey and office, you used to play each other each year, and then as you got older to Craven Week, then they used to play for the Blue Bulls, and we used to play for the Cheetahs, and then afterwards under 19 and 21. And then you still got the camps that were in between that. And you actually ended up becoming great friends from spending time with each other, and not just, no, you in that school and I hate you because you're in that school. It's like I was saying, I mean, before the game, greet, chat, you'd know their parents because you'll be hosted out with that person. And then, like I was saying, as soon as the game started, give it all you got. And then afterwards, it's back to that again.
Ja, ek moet sê die een ding wat my nou praat so op toere wat jy uitgeplaas is na die huise toe. Dit is my altyd so bad dat hulle nog nooit by 'n netbalgolfhuis uitgeplaas het nie. Dit was verskriklik.
Jy praat van jouself daar. Ek was in menigte net. Ek het seker gemaak jy uit saam met wie ek room het. Dis nie gehad. Jy moet jou huiswerk doen nou. Jy moet jou huiswerk doen.
Maar dan was jy daai tyd is nou nie Facebook om te stalk nie. So dit is moeilik.
Ek hoor jou.
Dis nou tyd vir Bar Talk, as hier waar ons bietjie kyk na die opkomende wedstryde van hierdie naweek en kyk of ons 'n paar tellings kan regkry. En 6 nasies, laaste ronde.
Yes, laaste ronde. Italië, Ierland. By Italië. Ierland verloor laas naweek. Wat is julle gevoel?
Well, have you seen in the URC, all the games that are in Italy, played in Italy, there's been very close margins, winning margins. It's when they tour that seems to be a problem. But at home, with their supporters, I mean...
Frankryk het hulle 70 gegee.
Ja, okay, true.
Frankrijk.
Nee, dit was
wat het laag
Italië,
gespeel?
ja.
Okay, that's true. But the rest of the teams?
Ja, nee, ek stem 100% saam met jou. So, wat is jou prediction vir daai ene?
Italië met 3.
Ireland 25.
Okay. Ek sê Ierland 17. Ek dink hulle het 'n punt om te bewys.
Ja, Ierland is 'n downward spiral. Ek sal altyd gaan vir die underdog. Ek sal gaan Italië met 3.
Yeah, your name shouldn't be Bobs. Yours should be underdog.
Dan die ander ene is Skotland en Frankryk.
Dit gaan 'n taai ene wees.
I think without Anton Dupont there, that's going to make a big difference. I mean,
that Luca is good, huh?
No, he is good, but I
Luka is
mean, the time that when Anton was out, Luca struggled. I don't know if maybe it's a mental thing that he tries to play like Dupont, and then it maybe bites him a bit. I think he must go out and play his natural game. I said, we know ourselves. I mean, as soon as you try to play like somebody else, it doesn't work.
Ja, it doesn't work, ja.
Ek dink Frankryk op hierdie stadium is vir my te goed vir Skotland om eerlik te wees. Dit gaan 'n close game wees, maar ek dink die Franse is bietjie te sterk op hierdie stadium.
Yeah, I think it goes about the forwards play.
Hey, hulle het mos nou die La Nuke squad.
Nuke.
That's what they call it.
En hulle media prys hulle ook dat hulle nou die eerste ouens is wat hierdie
That was a great idea. It's the best idea ever to have a 6-1 split or a 7-1 split.
Ja.
It's
Hoe dink hy ouens so iets?
yeah, how can they think something out like that? So we just like,
and they were the media that was most
against
frowned
it.
upon when we did it. So,
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
what,
so-
8 years ago?
No, well, 7-1
Yeah.
was at least in the World Cup.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
6-2. So, prediction?
Frankryk is nou nie een van my favourite spanne nie. Hulle is soos Australië en die Blou Bulle. Ek sal gaan vir Frankryk met redelik 12 punte.
Yeah, no, yes, it's a difficult one. I mean, if they can get enough ball to do on, they can maybe make a bit of damage. I'd say also about 9 for France.
Ek gaan die spanner in die works gooi. Frankryk met 35.
Dis moontlik.
Ek dink regtig hulle wil 6 nasies kampioene wees. Frankryk met 30 plus 35.
Maar een ding wat ons vergeet is, Frankryk is nie deel van die Lions Tour nie.
Nee.
So dit is van daai Skotland manne se laaste kans om te wys hulle wil gaan toer
Yeah,
sien
well,
die Lions.
they were talking about Hugh Jones and Kinghorn in the Lions squad. And the Lions squad's coming on Thursday night, I think.
Ja.
Ja.
So it's going to be interesting to see which of those players,
Can
because there was a
yes.
time that Scotland was cooking.
Ja, ja. And then the last one, the interesting one, I know it's not the last game that France in Skotland se laaste game, maar die interessante een wat ek dink die naweek is Wallis en Engeland. In Wallis, as ek dit nie mis het nie. Wallis is op 'n opwaartse kurwe. Ons het nou daaroor gepraat ook. Wat is julle gevoel?
It's amazing when you take a certain coach out of a situation and replace him with somebody else. What it can either count for you or it can count against you. I mean, we've had this conversation a lot with Warren Gatland that was removed, and now
In die middel van die toernooi. Dit
Ja.
maak het nog meer mind-blowing.
and it's been one of those cases where the team has kind of picked up.
But all of a sudden there's a few familiar faces again. You know, Gareth Anscombe starting on 10. You know, so it's a mixture of youth and experience.
But
I
do you think it
they're
was more
doing that
personal
right.
thing?
No, definitely.
That
Definitely.
that
No,
Gatland's
100%.
like, you'll do it my way or the highway.
No, 100%.
And unfortunately, his way didn't really suit them.
We had that situation a few years back with the Sharks as well. I mean, where certain coach was taken out because the Sharks didn't perform, and when he left, all of a sudden the Sharks picked up again. So, yeah, prediction?
Engeland met 7.
England 13.
Ja, ek dink hulle gaan dalk net te sterk wees vir die Walliese. Ek dink die Walliese gaan 'n great show opsit.
Ja.
Gaan 'n tight game
I think it's
wees.
be a good 60.
Yeah, and then and funnily enough, I mean, if you take the past with England, let's say last year with the end of the year tour, they couldn't close out a game, and all of a sudden they're starting to close out games. So yeah, I think England's going to be just a bit 15 to 18 points better.
Have you noticed, sorry, we're talking about World Cups and stuff like that the Northern Hemisphere seemed to peak the year after the World Cup.
Yes.
If you look at all the World Cups, they've done well in the World Cups, but the year directly after the World Cups, those teams are devastating. And then it kind of, just before they get to the World Cup, they kind of start
Dipping
Going
again.
down
Dipping
again,
again.
ja.
Peaking at the wrong time.
Yeah,
Ons
it's
het so
just,
gepraat van dipping.
Oh,
Boys.
my word.
Cheetahs teen die
Leopards.
Leopards hierdie naweek.
Home game. Leopards het 'n pak slaag gevat laasweek.
Nie net die Leopards nie.
Ja,
Dan praat ons nie daaroor nie.
Cheetahs was net nie, I think they were their own worst enemy, and I don't want to get into too many politics or whatever the case might be, but they didn't play one warm-up game en al daai tipe goedjies. So ek dink hulle was maar 'n bietjie, hulle weet, hulle eie. But I think France made a statement and he said he won't be outcoached again. So ek gaan die Cheetahs back.
No, definitely.
100%. Ek dink Cheetahs met 15.
Ek sou 'n bietjie groter gaan.
Ja.
Ek dink die Cheetahs wil
I think
outpak maak.
they've got something to prove.
Ek dink
they
hulle gaan 'n
wanna-
30 plus game wees.
Ja.
Vir die Cheetahs.
No, I think it's that thing of. I think the Cheetahs had this mindset of, okay, it's Boland, we've got this in the bag. Don't really have to work as hard as what we. Let's just go through our stuff, and we've got a good game plan, and if we do it right, we should win. And I don't think the effort, like you're saying, is they were their own worst enemies. Where I think this time they're going to rev it up.
En daar's 'n baie motivering ook met Georgië, Georgia.
Oh
Wat
yes.
kom speel teen die Cheetahs.
No, I mean-
Hulle het daarom 'n toets.
Yeah.
soort van.
Dit is 'n toets vir ons, vir die Cheetahs. Dit is 'n toets vir ons.
Remember back in the day when you used to get the dirt trackers,
Ja.
the weak teams.
Ja, die weekspan gehad en dan
You used to
die
get the
naweek
SAA that would play the non-starting of the England or
Yeah.
and I mean those games were always played at the smaller stadiums, and then the large games were then played
On the bigger stadium.
on the bigger stadiums.
But I think they're doing that again this year with the Lions tour, eh?
Ja.
Because obviously the Lions will be playing in Australia. So they'll be playing against like the Reds and the Brumbies.
Well,
and those
interesting
stuff as well,
fact:
so-
Henrik Brousseau was found during those one of those weekends.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So I mean, it gives the best of the rest
The
to have a go.
opportunity.
And I mean, you have a brilliant game, and next thing you know, you find yourself in the squad again.
Lekker rugby om te kyk hierdie naweek.
Och,
No,
sien uit.
definitely.
Vrydag aand 6uur as jy in Bloemfontein is,
Yeah,
stadium
go to the stadium.
stadium
Come.
toe, ja.
Let's support the boys.
Come out in numbers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
Ek dink ons kan dit definitief doen.
Ja, maar as jy braai moet nie die vleis brand nie.
Nee, asseblief moenie. Asseblief moenie. Nooi my net. Ek is ook al lank lus vir 'n stukkie choppie.
As. Dankie boys.
Thanks,
Wat
guys.
julle?
Hoorie boys, nou voor ons los 'n bietjie oor elke woensdag aand gaan ons hierdie doen. Wat bring jy, wat gaan jy bring na game plan toe? Wat sien jy uit om oor te praat?
What I'm looking for game plan is that we're going to talk about subjects that most podcasts don't talk about. You know, everybody wants to talk about international games and they want to talk about
Die URCs.
the URC and stuff. I want to bring the club players, where we talk in and out about the dynamics of clubs and the dynamics of schools and how you transition from school to club. It's a lot different if you were a top 10 player in the country, because then you go straight to a union or you go straight to a province. I'm talking about the guy that loves rugby and has a passion for it, but has never really had the ability of the guys above. He's played 4th or 5th team, and because after school, because he's still got a passion for it, he still wants to play for his friends, they move into the club structures and they enjoy their rugby. You know, they don't play for pay, if you understand. And that's something that I would like to put a spotlight on.
Reinhard, vir jou?
Ja, daar is nou 'n moeilike een, hè. Hoe volg ek dit op?
Ja, ons het vir Engels.
Nou gaan ek voel ek is, jy weet, nee, ek joke sommer net. Kyk, ek love it om internasionale rugby te praat. So I think that's where we can accommodate each other as well. Ek meen 6 nasies weer hierdie naweek, massive upset hierdie naweek gewees wat verby is. En nou gaan my span 10-1 dat ek geback het in die 6 nasies, nou nie die 6 nasies wen nie.
And DuPont out.
Ja,
DuPont
wel,
uit.
6 tot 9 maande.
Hoe durf hulle vir DuPont so hard tackle? Hoe durf hulle?
The French want criminal charges.
Ja, hulle wil vir arme Tide nou gesaai kry en ek weet nie wat alles nie. So ja, so ek dink jy weet net bietjie daai wat ek definitief sal kan bring is daai inside. Weet ek is maandag tot Saterdag, want ons speel nou op Saterdag ook, jy weet maandag tot Saterdag is ek elke dag met rugby spelers te doen. In hulle gesigte, in hulle demeanors, in hulle menswees en al daai tipe in dit klink nou baie weird, maar soos in hulle omgewing. So definitief weet ek sal as 'n mens plek kan maak vir 'n ouetjie of twee, dan bring ons 'n ouetjie op die
The one thing I would like to look going forward, because we're all coaches, how to work with certain players.
Yes.
Because like you're saying, all the players are completely different. They're their own person. How, as a coach, certain players, you know, you can tell him half-time and you can be hard on him and he'll come out and he'll produce better. And then certain players, if you're hard on them, they go into their shell. So that's something that Ford I would like to talk about as well.
Of course. No, definitely.
How to work with a certain player.
Okay, right boys, ek sal sorg vir die snacks en die drinks.
So jy gaan net sit en kyk.
Ja, ek sit en kyk. Ek sal biltong eet, julle chat.
Maak dit maklik.
Hoorie manne, baie dankie. Ons is volgende Woensdag aan hierso en dan gaan ons bietjie meer in diepte gaan in die games en die resultate en voorspellings. En dankie daarvoor. Ek sien uit vir die res van hierdie.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Ja, ek sien verskriklik baie uit. Ek kan regtig nie ons wag al hoe lank is dit? Ons al 'n maand dat ons wag om actually op te kan kom en so aan. So weet ek wil vir almal net om verskoning vra dat ek elke week ek wil net die ding aan die gang kry, maar ja, ek dink ons gaan lekker bol chat.
Exactly.
En weet ons gaan bietjie ek dink ons gaan voelers uitsteek en die mense gaan geniet wat ons doen, dink ek persoonlik. So.
Great.
Vir al die kykers van buite, baie dankie. Ons gesels met julle volgende keer. Lekker aand.
Sê